Well, it is tea time this morning at WSLS, and as our next guest is here to tell us, there's more to this beverage than your average cup of tea, what you see in your cup.
Absolutely. We're joined by Advanced Instructor of Geography, Stuart Scales from Virginia Tech. And I will admit, Stuart was a great professor of mine, and I actually got the TA for him. Stuart, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
And you teach all kinds of unique classes, but I don't know if there's one quite as unique as the geography of tea.
It's been a lot of fun to kind of develop this course from scratch, and I actually attribute a lot of the class's design to my wife as well. We were both big tea fans, and she kind of proposed the idea that maybe we could, look at this from a geographic perspective. And so I kind of developed the class from scratch as a way to kind of let my students explore the world without ever really leaving the classroom. And so we spend a lot of time looking at each of the world's tea producing countries, and of course we get to sample teas from all of those locations as well.
And you're talking a lot about geography. Obviously, it's the geography of tea. So
Yes.
How does tea differ from area to area as you bounce from country to country?
That's a great question. It can actually differ a lot. So, of course, tea is native to Southeast Asia, so China and India, kind of that belt in the tropics between China and India. And the amazing thing about it is that everything you do to a tea leaf is it will change the way that the tea tastes. It changes the way that the tea looks. And of course, there's a lot of cultural geography that goes into that as well, in how the tea is processed, and even things like religious practices too. And we take a look at all of that in the class.
Gotcha. And now you actually brought some tea for us today, and I didn't realize this, but kind of like wine, there's actually a proper way to taste tea. And now we were talking about this before the show, I'm not a huge tea fan, so I'm hoping that whatever you have here is something that I'll actually really like, because I've always wanted to drink tea. I've always wanted to be like a cutesy little tea drinker, and but I've never been able to find the right kind.
So there is a process to it, and I do have my students go through a very specific process, because tasting tea is a little bit different than drinking tea, of course. If you're enjoying what's in your cup, you're brewing your tea right. Mm-hmm. And the difference with kind of drinking tea and tasting tea is that you kind of need to analyze all of the flavors and the smells that you get. Maybe instead, it's kind of like going a little bit further beyond just drinking and enjoying the
Gotcha.
cup. We're really interested in doing like sensory evaluation. So can we pick out specific smells or tastes that you find in an individual cup of tea?
Now, what do we have here, and where's it from?
Yes, this is it's called a milk oolong. So the varietal's called Jin Xuan, and they mainly grow it in Taiwan. And so Taiwan is kind of the new and up and coming area. The classic areas are like China and India that kind of make old school teas that a lot of people are so used to. But with Taiwan, they're trying a lot of new kind of innovative things, and that gives us some really interesting smells and flavors, just like this one.
Yeah, and we don't have a ton of time left, so I'm going to go ahead and take a taste.
Sure. See if you can kind of pull out some of the smells and flavors.
Ooh, I actually do like this one. I do. I know we talked about this. I said I was going to be honest if I didn't like it. I do actually really like that. It smells very nice.
Yes, there's a lot of kind of almost milky and almost like coconut milk, or maybe even some buttery, like a buttery
coconut.
taste to it.
Very smooth. That was kind of like that was the exact thing I was thinking once. Tastes very good.
Absolutely. Man, I wish I had taken this class at Tech. This is so fun. Now, for more information on this class and the geography of tea, we're going to have that on our website at WSLS.com after the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.